All right, Pat. Woke up, saw you tweeting up a little storm this morning. You've got your finger on the pulse of Randy Dobnak's sinker.
I watched 2 innings of Randy Dobnak yesterday. Don't ask me how, but I did. And I watched 2 innings of him, and it was the ball. The ball was going whoop, getting that little down and in right-handed hitter's sinker was. Well, I'd never call it exploding, would you? It wasn't an exploding sinker. It never was, but it was a definite sinker, and he was throwing easy yesterday, easy, and the ball was running, and two very good innings from the Dobber yesterday. So maybe that $9 million investment is going to finally pay off. Of all the odd signings in Twins history, suddenly popping up and feeling the urge to give the Dobber 4 years, $9 million was one of the all-timers, and maybe they'll get some usage out of him now this year.
Could be, yeah. So just for fun here, I went back. I searched on Google here. I'm going to read you 2 paragraphs from an article that was published on April 7th, 2012, and I'm just gonna fill in I'm gonna replace the name of the player with player A, and you can decide if this is parallel. Fully recovered from off-season nerve realignment surgery in his elbow, this right-hander experienced a bit of a renaissance this spring, which pitcher A credited to moving to the third base side of the rubber from the first base side. The new release point makes it more difficult for right-handed hitters to pick up the sinker, and more important, it creates less stress on pitcher A's arm, giving him greater peace of mind.
Homer Bailey?
No, it's 2012.
Nick Blackburn.
Nick Blackburn.
Yeah, really?
Remember when David Ortiz in a spring training game raved about Blackie's tough to pick up this year. What's going on?
Yeah, Blackie, probably the greatest surprise game ever pitched was him losing 1-0 in the two. Who was it?
Jim Thome took him deep in the.
Yeah, but it wasn't Burley. Who was it? Who was it? The guy was the guy was kind of a White Sox.
John Garland?
No.
Oh, no. Who was it? It was John Danks. John Danks. John Danks. Yes.
John Danks.
That's a deep White Sox pull.
John Danks.
Who, by the way?
John Danks reference. And Bobby Jenks closed that game out for the White Sox.
Yes, but I think Blackburn won 9, didn't he? Did he go the whole way?
He went 6 1/3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1-0. Thome hit it into the center field seats in the 8th, maybe 8th or 9th, wasn't it? 8th.
It was the 7th. Yeah. Wow.
7th.
Steel trap memory here.
Yeah. Kadire thrown out home from a noodle arm Ken Griffey Jr. from shallow center field because they sent him on one ankle down the third baseline.
Yeah, right. Well, Cuddy could have screwed it up without the third base coach. Cuddy was an underrated, horrible base runner. They were very underrated. I
love the Cuddy. Cuddy always, if there was a runner on second base and he hits a base hit to right field, every single time he had to make sure he got caught in a rundown to assure that run scored from second base. Right.
Even if the guy was going to score standing up, he wanted to get into that run.
Sacrifice yourself. Yeah, just
Twins Hall of Famer. I won't have this for a Twins Hall of Famer.
It was an opening day in Comiskey. Remember that? Opening day in Comiskey. He did something incredibly stupid on the bases. I can't remember, but it cost him the ball game. Yeah. And that was in the era when they were winning division titles. And I'd have to look that up. Well, what did he do? He said, I think it was a pop-up, and he went running, and there was 3 infielders that could have caught it. I don't know what it was, but he had some mighty screw-up base runner. That was the game, by the way. Who was the new outfielder who we had brought in, who got hurt running up the steps and played 4 or 5 games for the whole year? Who was the outfielder back then?
What year is this again?
Well, we're in Comiskey. So we're in whatever the new ballpark was, sometime in the 2009, 8, 9, something like that. New out.
I'm trying to think of the players they brought in. It was like Ruben Sierra.
No. Well, I'll have to look that up. We'll answer that. We'll answer that tomorrow.
We're gonna
Just
find
tease
We're
it.
fine. We're pulling so many good facts here.
He was running up the steps and got hurt and ended up playing popped a calf. He was out longer than Cat with the popped calf.
That's not possible.
Yeah.
That's not possible, Patrick.
If somebody can come up with that, I'll buy them a beer next time I see them at Target Field.
Now I'm just gonna be. I am
be
now just gonna be
Craig
staring
Monroe?
at Baseball Reference. Craig Monroe?
No, not Craig Monroe. No.
Google
More of an
Stairs
athlete.
Twins outfielder new acquisition and see if it pops. It's like running a DMV search.
Yes. I don't know. I'd have to look back, and we had big hopes for him. He was kind of a leader type, wily veteran, and he was a leader hope. And he popped the muscle running up his when he was coming out to take the field for opening day.
Rondell White.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Rondell White. Rondell. How many games did he play his first year with the Twins?
38, I think. Or wait,
38. Yes, he was running up he was being announced with the starting lineup. What year was that? 08?
Okay. Oh,
06.
well, okay. They signed him in 06, but he did play 99 games, but did he hit the injured list right away? Rondell White was really good for a couple years early.
In Montreal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's it.
He played through like May in that first year. Maybe it was the second year that
Man,
we're so far down this wormhole now that we have to keep going.
One of those years he was running up the steps and he got hurt in opening day.
There it is. Yep.
Was
okay. It was the yep. You were right. It's the second year. It was the second year of Rondell White. He played the first 3 games against Baltimore, and then it must have been either that third game or the fourth game, and he was out until August basically.
Yes, running up yeah. Now where are my keys? I can remember Rondell White running up the steps. But
you don't know where your wallet or your keys are.
Keys are, but I did remember to turn off my cell phone this morning too. So when we
This
came
is
on,
far more important stuff, Pat.
Yes.
Who cares about your
Incredible.
keys?
yes.
The amount of random dudes they signed between like 2005, Joe
Outfielders, too.
Creedy, Mike Lamb, all these random guys.
They're outfielders
Tony
to go back
Batista.
to like the 90s. Otis Nixon.
Isn't
Ruben
it amazing?
Sierra.
Isn't it amazing though how back even that recent, which is fairly recent, it's less than 20 years ago, we didn't give a damn if a corner outfielder could actually catch the ball. Josh, we had range or anything like that. It didn't matter. Of course I grew up in the era where you'd put a klutz in right field and a klutz in left field, and then tell the center fielder to go catch the ball. That was, your corner outfielders were not, if you had a good corner outfielder in the field, it was an accident. Like Tony was both. He could play right field too, but it wouldn't have made any difference. He still would have played no matter what. Before the DH especially.
Yeah,
I remember famously the Cincinnati. Now this is really going back. Cincinnati Reds. They had Wally Post in left field and Gus Bell in right field, I believe. And both of them would walk out there, and they'd leave their gloves on the line, and when they walked back in, the gloves would stay out on the corner outfielders left their gloves out on the sitting just in foul territory. They didn't want to carry them all the way back in and pick them up on the way out. Yes.
There was, I think, like way back in the day, I think
They
the
left their
outfielders
gloves.
would just leave them out in the middle of the
Shortstops would.
field, right?
Yeah. Why was that? I wonder. They afraid they're going to lose them? I don't know.
That's a good question.
Just more convenient.
They didn't weigh that much, So, they did though. But I remember famous bad corner outfielders and the center fielder just go get everything, So
Yeah.
anyway,
So the Dauber's back is the moral of the story.
Dauber had some stinkage, but he probably have to. He's not on
Rondell White, not an Iron Man.
He's not on the 40 man. He's. I don't believe he's on the 40.
I will say we have chided the Twins over the rush to give Randy Dobnak a multi-year contract, but really I think wasn't it like a $9 or $10 million deal in total?
$9 million for 4 years, but it was.
Yeah.
But the Dauber says he was getting married. Remember, he was going to the barn to get married with the local girl. They were eliminated that year, so I think they gave him the last weekend off so he could get married because he didn't think he was going to be in the big leagues. And they gave him a $9 million wedding present. Basically, it was great.
And he hasn't been seen since. Basically,
That's the Twins' way.
He's a
Phil
good
Hughes.
Huh?
Come on. I said it's the Twins' way.
Well, the Hughes thing was a reward. The Dobnak thing was a gamble on value. That if he was good, they would only be paying $2 million a year.
Both were really unnecessary.
And different administrations, though. The Terry Ryan gave the Hughes the money.
Blackie got the Dauber deal, right? Or was Blackie more of a reaction to?
Blackie got a bargain. It was a bargain rate, but Blackie pitched a lot of games for him, didn't he?
He was a horse for like 2 years. He led them in innings, and
he must have made 100 starts. The Dauber didn't make 100 starts, did he? He must have made 100, being there 100 starts for the Twins. Nah, probably not 180.
My favorite Blackieism was, and he kind of perpetuated this, but it was probably more of a media thing where he would sometimes be a little too strong out there. That if he had the extra day of rest, the sinker wouldn't sink.
Gardy gave us the two straight. It was too strong today. Next time out, we got to have him throw way more pitches so he can get the sinkage back.
Work that lather up a few hours before the game.
We made a mistake last time. We took him out in the 7th. He didn't get tired enough. That was a great one. And how about dramatic changes in the game of baseball? You got to keep the ball down. And now you got to keep the ball up. you got to get it up there. It is an amazing everything that they did for my first 40 years covering baseball. The computers told them was wrong.
And on the hitting side, 15, 20 years ago and all the way further back, it was as a hitter, you're supposed to chop wood, hit the ball on a line or hard ground balls and put backspin on the ball. And now it is different.
Now they say, yes, Alex Kirilloff has a great swing. Fantastic. But he doesn't have topspin. So he doesn't hit enough home runs. Now Joey Gallo never hits the ball, but he has topspin when he does accidentally hit the ball. So it is everything that we held sacred is now gone. I'd like to go back and look at my stories I wrote from spring training when I was with the St. Paul paper as the beat guy from 74 and 78 and find out none of it's true. None of it was what you really wanted a guy to be doing.
Mock would hate this stuff, wouldn't he?
Yeah. Well, he sure as hell wouldn't be. He wouldn't be hooking Dylan Bundy if he pitched 5 scoreless innings on 64 pitches against the terrible. If the Mike Troutless California Angels they're whatever we call them now. He wouldn't be doing that.
Did you guys see? So the World Baseball Classic's going on here, and early this morning, Italy had a landmark victory beating Cuba. Italy beat Cuba 6-3. What I didn't see until Bob Nightingale tweeted this out: 3 shutout innings for Italy pitched by Matt Harvey.
Really? Wow. And what is he, married to an Italian?
He got lunch with an Italian guy one time when he was
right. His favorite restaurant in New York was in Little Italy or some damn thing. So he showed him a menu from one of the restaurants in Little Italy. Yeah, you can play for Italy.
Apparently, so he said my grandfather is part of the reason I'm able to be here. He's getting older, and I know he was up this morning to watch it. So was his grandfather born in Italy, or maybe his great grandfather was born in Italy? I don't know, but
Cuba lost their first one to Panama or somebody. They're done. They
really
went, they went 0-2. They lost to another I don't know who they lost to, but I was surprised that they lost. And you know what? They got U.S. guys playing on that team now. they got some big leaguers, because before they just send their national team, but I don't know what they're doing now. But they're done.
Wait,
they
so
went,
Cuba is allowing the players who
I don't
defected?
know. I looked at the box score. Netherlands beat them, which is Curacao beat them. Curacao basically beat them, and I looked at the box score, and it looked like 4 or 5 guys that they're big leaguers now. But Moncada was there. Maybe it's a different Moncada. I don't know. But
No, because I think Cespedes was there too.
yeah, that's right. I saw
So
him.
yeah,
A couple other names.
They definitely did allow guys who defected to play for them.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, they didn't do them anything. That's what they get for letting us soft capitalists play instead of letting their old team play. Damn it, they screwed up. That's what they get for being. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they weren't willing to send a team, and they had to slap a Cuban team together with U.S. players. I don't know how.
Is this a qualifying round then?
Well, no, this is the tournament. There's 16 teams. This is the tournament. But they're playing. I think they're playing one of their first rounders in Korea and another first rounder in Japan, if I'm not mistaken. Right. And then there's one in Arizona and one in Florida, which hasn't started yet. But it is. I have no interest in it. I could care less. But like the rest of America. But they got a really good U.S. team this year. The pitching isn't the greatest, but the lineup is outstanding. So we'll see.
It's such a crapshoot. You're trying to cram an international baseball tournament into like a 3-week window in spring training.
And while the pitchers are getting ready for the season, so they're not going to go more than 2-3 innings. So, Barrios is pitching though. Quite a few of the Puerto Ricans are pitching, and the Dominicans, and the teams are good. I don't think there's anywhere in the calendar that they could do this to make it interesting. Do you? I mean, it would be in the winter, but the guys don't want to give up they don't want to get up. They've just played a long season. What are you going to do?
You'd have to do it in the middle of the season, right? You'd have to carve out you'd have to stop the season for 3 months or something.
Only soccer. Well, not 3 months, but
3 weeks, whatever. Yeah.
Only soccer will do that. So we can play Mexico, but play teams from Mexico for 5 weeks or something. But I don't know. The time to play it is November, December. But you can't have guys play through the World Series and then say, "Hey, come on and play another, pitch another 25 innings or something." So
there's enough baseball played.
It just doesn't work. It doesn't work, but they're going to keep trying, I guess. They got some sponsors, so they're going to keep trying. But I bet the TV ratings are zilch once they start playing.
There's enough baseball, Pat. There's enough basketball. There's enough hockey. We don't need more tournaments.
Boy, spring training. What are we now? We only have a couple weeks left, right? But we're about halfway through, right?
We're about halfway through, yeah, because we got about 3 weeks left. Yep.
We still don't have anybody play more than 2 at-bats. Anybody that counts is playing more than 2 at-bats, and nobody pitches.
Are we still optimistic about Alex Kirilloff, by the way, at this point? I don't think he's...
Yeah, they keep saying BS, but he started taking live batting practice. But he's not. There's not one chance in 100 he's going to start the season on the opening day roster. I don't think, even though they haven't. That's why Gallo's playing first base now, as predicted. I got all kinds of reps when I said that he was going to be the first baseman, and he's an outfielder.
We call those that's the Twins take police that kind of roves around Twitter and social media. That's the wrong take. We once had Matthew Collar 4 years ago went on the radio and said correctly in retrospect, Miguel Sano is a bad baseball player. Yes. He hits home runs, but he's not good at baseball. Literally, I got I won't say who it was, but I got an email from someone in the Twins blogosphere demanding that he be fired for that take.
And now, hey, by the way, did you see the Miguel story down there? Which really, his estranged father murdered his live-in younger girlfriend But Miguel, now according to Miguel, he's had no relationship with this guy. He just knocked up Mom and went about his life, and he's had no relationship with him. But I don't know what, but he still hadn't signed anywhere. Nobody's given him a job. So
no, he'll go to the KBO or something, right? Go to the KBO,
gotta
go hit 35 bombs.
You got to go now, though, don't you? They're having spring training too. Where how much longer can he wait? I don't know.
Is there a chance he's done?
I think that everybody who watched him in the last, well, at least last year, he didn't play enough to see a lot of them. But everybody who's seen him now say he just can't hit, and he can hit modern pitching. But he should be able to get around on the KBO, shouldn't he? Why doesn't he take the money? Maybe he just doesn't want to go. Maybe he feels like he has enough money. But
I think the question is he broke or not?
Yeah.
If he's broke, he'll play.
Yeah, I don't think he's broke yet. But
he's made $34 million playing baseball, which may seem like a lot, but if you go a little crazy there,
you got 3.15 to sign, and that was gone in about 2 years. So he was broke then. So well, it's too bad. I don't think he was. I don't think he's an evil guy or anything. I think he was. All his teammates seemed to like him and everything, and I have no resentments towards him, even though the last time I tried to talk to him, he questioned numerous things about my character. I think that some of which would be considered offensive in the modern in modern times. I think something had to do with sexual preference, but I'm not sure. But anyway, because it was
sounds like a classy guy.
It was uttered in Spanish, but anyway.
So he berates you, and you had to turn to someone and say, "Could you translate
what do you say?"
Hey, Elvis, get over here to St. Paul.
I was at St. Paul. I tried to stop him when he was heading into the locker room, and he didn't stop. And then I sent Sean Aronson in to see if he'd talk to me, and Sean came back and reported, "No."
That sounds like Sean.
No, in uncertain terms.
Yeah.
Poor Sean.
Yeah.
But here's what he said about you, Pat.
God, I love him.
He used some Spanish phrases that I don't think were complimentary. Maybe having relations with donkeys or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
something like that. Anyway.
Amazing. All right, Pat, we'll talk to you tomorrow morning again, sir.
Okay. All right. Come on, Kirill. Don't have an ACL here. That would put on the boys are tied for first place in the Central. They're one out of first in the West, but they need Kaprizov. That's my theory. That's my hot
That's a good hockey take, Mr. Puck. John Gilbert would be proud. See you,
All
Reusse.
right.
All right, see you, Pat. All right, Reusse Unchained, Score North YouTube channel, Reusse Unchained podcast feeds. See you.